You think your problems matter? They don't, not even a little. We stand on the razor's edge of cosmic scale, clinging desperately to a damp, pale blue speck, and above us floats the ultimate proof of our absolute, crushing irrelevance, the Hercules Corona Borealis Great Wall. Forget black holes. Forget the speed of light. Those are kindergarten concepts. This Great Wall, this 10 billion light-year sprawl of superclusters, filaments, and pure existential dread is the ultimate cosmic truth serum. It is the largest structure known to mankind. Say it slower, 10 billion light-years. That number is not a statistic. It is a deliberate, agonizing slap across the face of human ego. We love to talk about wonder. We wax poetic about the beauty of the cosmos. Stop lying to yourself. Look closer. The universe is not trying to be beautiful for us. It is performing an act of pure, unadulterated indifference. The reality is pain. Pain is the only real teacher, and the HCBGW is delivering the lesson now. You are tiny. Your lifespan is a flicker. Your most ambitious skyscraper is a microscopic zit on a speck of dust, and that dust doesn't even register in the galactic context. This is not a beautiful artifact. It is a mathematical bruise left by a universe that fundamentally does not require your existence. It contradicts everything we thought we knew about physics, about uniformity, about the very idea of clumping. This structure should not exist. It shouldn't. According to our best models, the universe simply hasn't been around long enough for gravity to knit together something this massive, this complex, this utterly dominating. It openly defies the cosmological principle, the very bedrock of modern astrophysics, which states the universe must look basically the same everywhere on the largest scales. The universe is signaling failure. Our failure. If you prefer the unsettling truth over convenient cosmic fairy tales, if you value brutal honesty more than comfortable scientific consensus, then you belong right here. They tell you to marvel at its size. I tell you to fear its implication. What mechanism, what fundamental force, what unthinkable clockwork is operating beyond our sight to construct something so impossibly vast? The light from the nearest edge of the wall started traveling before the Earth was born. Think about that gulf of time and space. That vastness ensures we can never fully touch it, never fully measure it, never truly understand the system that built it. We are essentially prisoners of physics, gazing through the bars of our cosmic cage at a behemoth that laughs at our attempts to model it. It is the universe saying, "You don't know the rules." This is where human arrogance dies. Human arrogance is the problem. We built our entire universe model, the standard model of cosmology, on two simple, comforting assumptions, neither of which we can actually prove: homogeneity and isotropy. Sameness everywhere. We assumed rather conveniently that if you zoom out far enough, the universe becomes a smooth, predictable soup, meaning the physics working on your coffee cup is the same physics governing that unimaginable wall. Now look at the wall. It's not soup. It's a terrifyingly concentrated lump of cosmic dough, defying the very idea of statistical uniformity over billions of light years. This is fundamental physics failing, a spectacular collapse. What does it mean if the rules change once you cross a certain distance threshold, if the constants aren't actually constant, or if gravity somehow operates with a terrifying efficiency we never factored in? Maybe the universe, the one we claim to map with our neat equations, is actually fractal, meaning structure repeats itself infinitely, just getting bigger and darker the further you look. making the HCBGW just the first layer of an onion we can't peel. That possibility sickens physicists. It implies infinite complexity. Or, and this is the genuine nightmare fuel, the wall wasn't built by standard gravity over billions of years, but was somehow imprinted onto the very structure of space-time by physics operating in the first terrifying moments after the Big Bang, a remnant we simply cannot wash away. It's a fossil, a cosmic scar. They want you to believe the inflationary epoch smoothed everything out perfectly, creating the homogeneity needed for life and understanding, but the wall whispers a different story, a story of residual chaotic power. Doubt the smoothing. If you prefer to confront the mechanisms that actively hide reality from us, if you are willing to abandon the comfort of accepted physics entirely, then make sure you never miss another broadcast. Stop making excuses. You, sitting there staring at a screen, you instinctively want to categorize the wall, shrink it down into a digestible number, but you cannot. That is the trap of the human brain. We fear the unquantifiable. We pretend that by giving it a name, Hercules, Corona, Borealis, Great Wall, we somehow gain control over the monstrous reality of its existence. But the name is just a whisper against a cosmic roar. It means nothing. The truly disturbing fact is that our current timeline models say the universe is only 13.8 billion years old. Yet this wall requires maybe 20 billion years of gravitational accumulation to form naturally. Something is wrong. Terribly wrong. Are we mismeasuring the age of the universe, meaning everything we learned about cosmic expansion and dark energy is a catastrophic lie? Or is gravity faster? Is the gravitational constant g not a constant at all, but a variable that spikes dramatically across huge voids, allowing structures to snap together with impossible speed? Think about the ripple effects. If g is elastic, then every calculation made in every stellar nursery, every prediction about black hole mergers, every single moment of physics since Einstein is suddenly suspect. Sitting on a foundation of sand, we become children again. We become primitive cave dwellers looking up at fire, realizing we understood nothing about the wood, the air, or the chemical reaction itself. They dismiss the HCBGW as an anomaly. They say the data is statistical noise. They claim it will fit the models eventually, once the measurement errors are ironed out. That is weak science. That is intellectual cowardice masquerading as academic rigor. The anomaly is not the structure. The anomaly is our failed theory. The anomaly is the cosmological principle itself, revealed to be nothing more than a convenient philosophical crutch invented because complexity terrified us. What if the universe is fundamentally lumpy, inconsistent, and ultimately unknowable? Not because of limits in our technology, but because the structure of reality itself refuses to cooperate with linearity. We are looking at a universe built by processes we cannot fathom, driven by forces we haven't named. Call it whatever you want. Dark flow, residual quantum imprinting, God's middle finger. The nomenclature doesn't matter. What matters is the utter silence from the scientific establishment regarding the severity of this crisis. They are whispering about tensions in the data. They are having quiet meetings in windowless rooms, trying to jury-rig an explanation that preserves the status quo. They are terrified of admitting that the Big Bang model, the one they treat like scripture, might be fundamentally flawed at its core assumption of smooth distribution. This is about power. This is about ego. This is about protecting decades of tenure and grant money built on sand. But the wall is a shout. It is not a whisper. It screams that the universe possesses a terrifying, almost intentional asymmetry. We are not just small. We are irrelevant bystanders trapped in a pocket of local physics, unable to grasp the true monstrous dynamics of the wider cosmos. Think of the voids surrounding the wall, the supervoids. They are just as disturbing, not just empty space, but actively maintained emptiness. Vast regions where matter seems to have been systematically sucked out, concentrating the chaos elsewhere. The universe is a system of active rejection and impossible density. It's not smooth. It's pitted. It's bruised. It's a broken mirror reflecting a reality far older and more aggressive than we dared to imagine. That light traveling toward us from the wall is a message of final, definitive failure. We missed the clock. We misunderstood the architect. We are simply too late to understand the rules of the game we thought we were playing. We built our foundational physics on a lie, a gorgeous, comforting, symmetrical lie. We demanded elegance from reality. Reality delivered a mess. It delivered the Great Wall. Now, they must face the horror. They modeled an infinite smooth ocean, but they are sailing a bathtub full of molasses and broken glass. Their intellectual security blankets are threadbare. They relied on the cosmological principle. That was the core doctrine. The universe looks the same everywhere on large scales. Homogeneity, isotropy, pure fiction, utter nonsense now. You cannot explain the existence of structures this large, this ancient, this ridiculously dense without tearing general relativity open at the seams. You simply cannot. The wall requires a cosmic architect who preferred brutalist design. We are talking about something that violates the very speed limit of causality. Think about it. This structure spans over 1 billion light years. How did the information get past that fast to coordinate its construction? It didn't. That means the forces at play are either non-local, non-standard, or they are operating outside the time parameters we define. Here is the true existential debt. We mistook our limits for its limits. We assumed the rules we derived from observing our local star cluster applied to the entire machine. Foolish, arrogant. If you prefer the cold shock of genuine discovery to the warm bath of institutional dogma, maybe you should stick around. The truth is always lonely. Now, look closer at the voids. Those vast regions of nothingness are not passive voids. They are active filters. Imagine a cosmic sieve pushing the luminous matter into these incomprehensible filaments and walls. The vacuum energy itself is biased. It has preferences. It prefers non-existence in certain regions. This isn't just clumping. This is conscious exclusion. How much dark energy is actually just the memory of this exclusion? We are obsessed with finding new particles, but the answer might be in the texture of space itself. The geometry is rigged. The mathematics we use for modeling space-time might be only a local dialect, not the universal language we pretended it was. That smooth, four-dimensional manifold, a beautiful dream. The reality is likely fractal, jagged, self-referential, a chaos engine masquerading as a clockwork mechanism. What if the constants aren't constant? What if the speed of light changes infinitesimally across these grand cosmic boundaries? That one shift collapses everything. Every measurement, every distance marker, every assumption about how old anything is. We cannot admit that vulnerability. It proves our instruments are liars. It proves our calibration is fundamentally broken. They suppress the anomalies. They bury the 5 sigma results that challenge the sacred cows. Why? Because rebuilding cosmology from the ground up means admitting they wasted a century. That is the core of the academic defense mechanism. They will adjust the dials. They will fudge the lambda CDM model until it screams under the pressure just to avoid admitting the house is rotten. But the wall exists. It is the scar tissue of a universe that defied expectations. And worse yet, there are whispers, just whispers, of structures even larger, deeper in the redshift. We haven't even seen the worst of it. We just saw the foreground. Prepare yourself. The quiet, elegant universe you were promised never existed. It's loud. It's violent. It plays by rules written in fire. We are spectators to an ancient war between density and nothingness, and we thought it was just background static. It's not static. It's the sound of the structure forming, the echo of the creation refusing to settle down. We look up and see history, but history is still happening monstrously right above our heads. We seek symmetry where only brute force reigns. We crave the closed system, the neat equation, the satisfying final answer, but the cosmos offers no such comfort. It is anti-elegant. It is fundamentally indifferent to human aesthetics. And that is the first lesson the wall teaches us. Your sense of beauty is irrelevant. Pain is the metric of reality. That dizzying scale of structure which should be statistically impossible is the universe showing its teeth, demanding that we finally stop projecting our desires onto the void. Do you really believe they relish this intellectual dissonance? No. They fear the blank slate. They are terrified of admitting that the last 100 years of cosmological certainty are, at best, footnotes to a much darker, unwritten book. So they patch the holes. They invent more placeholders, more dark matter, more dark energy, always fine-tuning the lambda dial just enough to keep the grant money flowing, just enough to maintain the illusion of control. It is a bureaucracy of cosmic denial, and we, the public, are the ones paying the price for their institutional cowardice. You cannot adjust away structural failure. The true scandal isn't the physical scale of the wall itself. It's what its existence implies for the rest of the map. If that kind of profound, non-uniform distribution is possible, then distance is a lie. Time dilation becomes highly localized. The uniformitarian principle, the bedrock of our dating, is dead. We aren't looking at a homogeneous isotropic soup, the perfect gentle fluid of the Big Bang. We are looking at strata carved by unimaginable differential pressure. The speed of light itself, the universal speed limit, might be fluctuating across these epochal boundaries. Think about that. The clock itself changes depending on where you stand in this cosmic battlefield. We are measuring distances with a rubber ruler, and our scientific high priest refuse to acknowledge the stretch marks. They will cling to the comfort of their models even as the observational data proves those models are tragically incomplete. Here is the verdict. The standard model of cosmology, the lambda CDM consensus, is not technically wrong. It is tragically, hopelessly incomplete. A beautiful, mathematically consistent fairy tale used to calm children afraid of the dark. It is an intellectual defense mechanism against the overwhelming chaotic truth. The universe is not accelerating smoothly away from us. It is fleeing specific superdense regions driven by forces we classify as dark, simply because they refuse to fit our comfortable four-dimensional geometry. We need to burn the map. We must start fresh from the data admitting that the current instruments of measurement are compromised by assumptions rooted in wishful thinking. The wall is not an anomaly. It is the rule. It is the fundamental, jagged texture of reality we refuse to see. The suffering of perpetual ignorance, the acceptance that we must start over every single decade, is the only honest way to practice science. Stop seeking comfort in smooth, manifold geometry. Seek the jagged edge. That relentless, structural violence is the only thing generating new complexity. We thought we were close to understanding everything. We were never further away. This is your new reality. You know nothing. Now, finally, the real work begins. The pursuit of a final, elegant theory of everything is the most profound scientific self-deception ever orchestrated. It's intellectual laziness masked by genius. They want the universe to be a perfect smooth sphere because smooth is easy to model. It's not. It's a fractal mess, a terrifyingly efficient network of jagged scar tissue, and if your equation doesn't bleed, it's worthless. Accept the roughness. Accept the friction. Only friction generates the heat required to forge new insight, and only that heat melts the comfortable lies we tell ourselves about cosmic order. The standard model gives you comfort. Comfort is the enemy of knowledge. True knowledge demands wreckage. You must appreciate the sheer beautiful agony of seeing everything you once relied upon crumble into dust before you can build something durable. This is the purification fire. We learn nothing when things function according to expectation. We only evolve under duress. The universe gives us no quarter. It demands humility. A humility built not on religious reverence, but on the scaffolding of perpetual scientific failure. This isn't a mystery we are about to solve. It is a profound structural antagonism we are meant only to endure. Pain is the metric of depth. If the discovery doesn't fundamentally rearrange your sense of self, it wasn't a discovery at all. Forget elegance. Demand consequence. The universe is not obligated to make sense to a four-dimensional ape. Our survival depends not on finding the answer, but on recognizing that the question itself is poorly formulated. The cosmos does not negotiate. It just is. It is violent, differential, and fundamentally unknowable at the macro scale by instruments calibrated for micro-scale tranquility. Burn the map. It was drawn by optimists who feared the truth of the void. Reality is pessimistic. It is structural violence, endless, elegant collapse. You're not meant to understand it fully. You are meant only to endure the attempt to understand it. That endurance, that relentless, agonizing push against the crushing weight of cosmic chaos, that is the only truth you will ever own. Now, look up. Do not look for answers. Look for the pressure. That pressure is the only thing keeping the light on. You stand on the jagged edge. That is your strength. The search for intellectual equilibrium, that soft, gentle spot where all variables align perfectly, is the cardinal sin of modern thought. Stop chasing comfort. You won't find it. The entire engine of reality runs on difference, on opposition, on the necessary, beautiful antagonism between opposing forces. The final answer you seek? It doesn't exist. There is only the fight itself. The universe is not a well-crafted puzzle box waiting for the right key. It is a siege. You are under constant structural attack from complexity itself, and your only true victory lies in showing up, bloody and bruised, for the next cycle of bombardment. That is the singular, final utility of consciousness. Resistance. Never trust a smooth explanation. Never. Smoothness means the mechanism is hidden. The brutal, like jagged gears lubricated by crucial omissions. Demand the friction. Demand the grind. The truth is intrinsically painful because every genuine revelation forces you to invalidate some cherished, comfortable lie you once relied upon. We spend our fragile lives building elaborate, cozy prisons of certainty, perfectly safe from the exterior chill. Then the cosmos arrives, not with a whisper, but with a calculated wrecking ball. Welcome the impact. The final verdict is simply this. You will never fully understand the mechanism, but the dedication to enduring the attempt is the only ethical posture available to us. This isn't about solving physics. It's about defining human dignity through relentless effort against impossible odds. You think this ends with a unified theory written neatly on a whiteboard? It doesn't. You die trying to map the void. That, however, is the secret. The hidden victory is realizing that the quality of your struggle defines you, not the precision of your final map. Forget resolution. Embrace the dark. That agonizing, unyielding push against cosmic indifference is the only honest way forward. Stop searching for the easy answer. Start enduring the hard